Number 5. There's 2 last ones. The number 5. The Good Samaritan didn't just do the work of God. He had the heart of God. He did the acts of God. You say, well, wait a minute, he was a Samaritan. I don't care about that. This was not the point of the parable. The point of the parable is that this is the one who acted in the will and heart of God. It says in the Greek that there's a deep word there that speaks about like deep compassion. Like from the heart. Actually in the Greek it's the spleen, but it means deep within. When he saw, he had so much compassion. What does it mean to live with the love of God? It means to have that heart that he had. It means it's not enough to know what's right and wrong. You need to seek to know. I want to know the heart of God. I want to feel with the heart of God. I want to see with the eyes of God. I want to be moved with the burdens of God. When you look at people, it's not just that you stand for what is right, which we have to do, but you have to also love those people who are against you and have the heart of God. And lastly, the Good Samaritan wasn't just good, and he wasn't just actively good. His goodness became action. And he didn't just impact the circumstance, which he did, but he also broke through the barriers. The barrier was, you may not deal with strangers, you don't help out our enemy. That was the barrier. There was a culture that had barriers, that had hatred all through it. But he broke through that barrier by doing what he did. He showed love to his enemy. When you love your enemy, you're breaking something. He was not bound. He was not limited by what the world said or what the culture said. His goodness didn't care about that. His goodness broke through the barrier for God, and by doing so, transformed the situation. And even though this is a parable, it is so powerful that it has affected the world since then. Not only live a life that's good, not only impact the world for good, your life is a vessel, but be a person who's not bound by the limitations around you, which are not with the ones that are not of God. You know, what is not God's will, you are not supposed to accept. That doesn't mean you're mad at somebody, you can't change people, but it means what you can do. I don't have to accept this. I don't have to accept the darkness here. I'm not gonna attack the darkness. I'm not gonna beat the people up because of the darkness. Then I'm part of the darkness. I'm gonna shine God's love into this situation. I'm going to shine God's love into the marriage. I'm going to shine God's love into the house. I'm going to shine God's love into my own emotions. God doesn't want you to accept darkness or the laws of men that say you cannot do that. He wants you to overcome darkness. It says don't be overcome by evil, overcome evil with good. He doesn't want you to be bound by the laws of the enemy or the laws of sin or the laws even of your past. He wants you to say, I don't have it, I'm breaking through that, I don't have to stay by that. He doesn't want you bound by the laws of fear. He wants you to break out of that. He doesn't want you down by the laws of being discouraged. He doesn't want that either. He wants you to transcend it. Break through the walls of man and the walls of the enemy and the walls of sin and even the walls of your old self with the love and the power of God. To actually love your enemy, that's one way. Bless those who curse you, that's breaking out of it. The box there, the power of God's love. Do not be conformed to this world, be transformed. And if you're transformed, you can transform those around you. And that's just, well, that's the world, that's this big cosmos. But you're in a little chunk of the world. So take it personally. Be not conformed to your circumstance now. To be not conformed to the problem, but be transformed by God. Do what is unexpected. That's when you ever do something where it is, by the way, if you practice loving your enemy, I'm just using this as one example, you're doing something unexpected. When you do something unexpected, it breaks out of the mold. Unwarranted, undeserved, manifests the power of God. This week, disciples of God, live in the power that was shown through the Good Samaritan. Look for that situation. Any situation, may not be you might actually see somebody on the road, but it may probably not be that. But any situation where you can shine into a darkness, look for it and bring into it the power of goodness, the power of love, the power of light. Live a life that transforms everything around you, everything you touch, even the world.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA.